5 at age 71. Wasn't really sure if I was going to make a video about this or not. Because everybody was making videos about it, and I don't want to seem like I'm jumping on some bandwagon or something like that. But I am a wrestling fan, and he was one of the reasons why I started watching wrestling. Hulk Hogan, Terry Boulay, or whatever his name is, last name is, I can never say it correctly, so I'll just go with Hulk Hogan. He defined what you would see as far as wrestling, pro wrestling, and Hollywood, right? Because he was like in movies, and I remember him in Rocky. I think I remember him seeing in Rocky even before I remember him seeing like wrestle. Honestly. And he had the merchandise, the shirts, the little stuff, action figure stuff, his cartoons and everything else. Like, he was everywhere, right? He was just popular. He was the face of WWF at the time. And this is what you know, that red and yellow. Like, you recognize that red and yellow. It was all about that red and yellow. And that, I am a real American. And the whole train, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and everything else. That was like ingrained in my head as a fucking kid. I remember. And those are my memories of Hogan that I remember when I was a kid. Because he was the reason why I watched. He was the reason why I watched. I was like, okay, who's he gonna fight now? Who's he gonna hook up for next? You got the hook up, the finger point with the no, and everything else. I'm just like in that leg drop. I'm like, oh my gosh. I always got so excited. Me and my brother would be watching it together, and it was like one of those things where it's just like, yeah, I want to see what happens next week, because I want to know who he's fighting next week. You know what I mean? I just remember watching it like on Saturday afternoons, and then going outside for like the rest of the day, because like my dad would kick me out of the house. But yeah, and then like can you imagine that Hulk Hogan was the face of two different companies? In WWF, he was the face, like a baby face, and everybody knew who he was. And then he went over to WCW, and then he turned heel, and then he became the face of WCW as a heel, with one of the greatest fucking factions that almost killed the business. Almost killed baby faces in wrestling, in pro wrestling, with the NWO. I think the NWO was so fucking big, they didn't know what to do with that. They didn't expect that. It's like, I think Booker T said it best. They stepped on a banana peel, and then, you know what I mean? It just got lucky. But a lot of people I see online, they are like, oh, I'm glad he's dead, because Hulk Hogan is a racist. Now, like, what was it, like not couple years ago, like 10, 12 years ago, I don't know. Apparently, well, not apparently, he said the N-word in some leaked video and stuff like that. Now, I, to this day, have not seen that video. I've never seen it. Don't plan on watching it or anything else like that. And I kind of remember one of my friends who knows that I am a big wrestling fan. They're like, oh, do you know Hulk Hogan's a racist? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, he said the N-word. I'm like, how do you know this? It's all over the internet, blah, blah, blah. I think like TMZ fucking linked it out or something like that. And I'm like, well, and what content was this in, right? And he's like, someone recorded him saying it without his knowledge, I said. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. And they're like, right, yeah, isn't that right? And he's like, racist. I'm like, no, that they did that they recorded him recorded him without his knowledge. That's the fucked up part. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, that's just fucked up, right? I'm like, why do... It's like, they deliberately did that just so they could put that out there so they can make him look bad. And it's like, you're not mad that he said it? I'm like, I wasn't even supposed to know about it, right? You know what I'm saying? It's not like he said it to me personally. It's not like he said, hey, Toya, you're an N-word. I'm like, no, he didn't say that to me personally, so no, I don't care. I'm like, look, whatever person says in the privacy of their home is their own business, right? Now, if it comes out that he said it in public to somebody, that'd be totally different, right? So no, I don't care. And it's like, I'm not looking at that. When I heard him that he died, I was just like, oh man, like I heard like Michael Jamal Warner died. I'm like the son from Cosby's. I was like, oh man, like that's terrible. This is like, and then Ozzy died. No, look, I wasn't a big Ozzy fan. Didn't really. I knew some of the songs, like some of his songs that were popular songs that were on TV. You know, they played on MTV or movies and video games such as that. I will say though that I did watch the Osbournes. Like I watched the Osbournes because that was fucking fun. That show was hilarious. That reality TV show was funny. All the Osbourne, I was like, I never knew what the fuck he was saying, but oh man, he made me laugh. That shit was hilarious, right? But I did watch the show, but like as far as like his music, I wasn't really a big Ozzy fan, but like he was part of my childhood because I knew the importance that he had on musicians, singers, and such like that. Because you know what I mean, he had such an impact on people that I listen to today. So I knew how important it is. Same thing with Hulk Hogan, right? Like Hulk Hogan, he had such an impact. He's the reason why a lot of people, especially my age area, watch wrestling. You know, who started watching wrestling, or the people that even began to even become wrestlers. He's the immortal icon. I believe that's what they said on SmackDown the other night. There's a reason, because he was just that, just I don't even know how to put this. Like he was just that, what is the word? Like I'm looking for that impactful, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but like he said, he was just impactful. He was immortalized forever. There is never going to be another Hulk Hogan in the wrestling business. And like the moments that I can remember, like Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant, like wow. Fucking that match between The Rock and Hogan at the WrestleMania, one of the great moments. For me, the greatest moment was when he turned heel. That's always going to be the number one best heel turn ever. No offense to John Cena. John Cena will always be number 2. The reason why John Cena is not as good as Hulk Hogan is not number 1. Maybe it's number 1 for some of you, because some of you guys are younger and everything else. But for me, John Cena turning heel is like 10 years, 11 years, 12 years too late. Right? He should have been like a heel like 12 years ago. And the reason why I've talked about Hulk Hogan turning heel, it was just great timing. So great timing. We didn't know, kayfabe to the max. You didn't know that he was going to do it. You didn't expect it. When he did that leg drop on Macho Man, it was just like, wait, whoa. Whoa. Are we seeing what we're watching right now? Like, what is this? It was fucking crazy. But yeah, I don't focus on the whole him being like, he could be a racist. I don't know. I don't care. I really don't care. As far as like the N-word, I've seen every time I go into a certain server every day and I look every day, the N-word is there. I do not care. I do not care about it. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what the context was. I don't care what the reason was. I don't care. For me, my memories of Hulk Hogan, I don't know Terry. I know Hulk Hogan. I grew up watching Hulk Hogan. I did not grow up with this Terry guy. I don't know this Terry guy. Hulk Hogan, I know. The guy who comes out with the red and yellow and then the black and white. The guy who came out with that one music. And then he came out with fucking when he came back with back in black and yellow again. But he got the Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze song. Man, that was great. That was fucking cool. But yeah, I don't care, right? And as far as it's like the whole thing about the whole he was recorded. They recorded a private conversation. This is probably one of the reasons why I loathe internet drama, right? Because all they do is record fucking conversations. Now I get it. If it's a group VC, I don't really care, but sometimes they record one-on-one just to get that got you moment. And it's like, you know, grow the fuck up. You know? Like, grow the fuck up. Seriously. But yeah, I don't know, but he's gonna be missed. I feel like my childhood's gone. I was actually wondering when I was sitting there thinking about this, and I was like, I wonder when my parents' childhood was gone, like what celebrity were they watching or listening to at the time where they found out that they died, and it's like, oh, there goes my childhood. There goes part of my childhood that is gone. You know, I wonder. I don't know. I don't really know. But like, yeah. He's, like I said, like, I'm going to just remember, like, look here, also, I might add, like, there's so many other things about Hulk Hogan that I don't like. You know, I think he's a habitual liar. I've heard stories about him back, and it was about with the Undertaker and everything else. The N-word thing, that's just like, who cares? Who gives a shit, right? You know, I don't care. Right? A lot of people say a lot of fucking worse things behind closed doors, and nobody's recording them and putting it out there. Say, oh, look at this person. This person ain't as good as you think they are, or whatever. You know, I don't like that kind of shit. So it's really just gross. But yeah, I'm going to remember Hulk Hogan as the wrestler, as the person that I watched in the 80s, and what you gonna do, brother, and everything else like that. And you know, some of you might not care, but you know, he wanted to get right with God, and I think he did. And if that's the case for him, good for him, right? Good on him and everything else. But yeah, I just remember those cool ass moments. Him with the storyline with him and Macho Man. Man, that was a great storyline. Damn, that was a fucking good ass storyline. Loved it. His match with Survivor Series with the Undertaker. Just great freaking moments, man. Just awesome fucking moments. I enjoyed watching Hulk Hogan. Was he like my favorite? No. I was more of Macho Man. I like Macho Man, and I like, of course, everyone liked the heels, but yeah, Macho Man was my favorite. But Hulk Hogan was the reason why I watched. Hulk Hogan was the reason why I was like, oh, alright, let me see what happens next week. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do this or not, but I was like, you know what, I have to. As a wrestling fan, I have to. But I waited, you know. I wasn't like everybody else jumped on the bandwagon of like stuff like that. But like, y'all, you know, you all need to like realize that Hulk Hogan meant a lot to to a lot of people. And I get that there's people that are very angry about what he said like a couple years, 10 years ago, but it's like, dude, like, sometimes you just need to let shit go, because people say that word all the time. Doesn't make them a racist, does it? I've heard, like I say, it does it. I mean, sometimes there are racists, like, who cares? But half the time, I mean, I grew up in the era of fucking people playing video games and saying that fucking word like all the time. And have people said that to me? Yeah, they have. Mostly because they want to get a rise out of me. It's not gonna work. I don't care, right? But like, yeah, I just want to remember the Hulk Hogan in the ring. That's what I remember. Anyways, I think I rambled on enough. Yeah. So, rest in peace, Mr. Hulk Hogan. Thank you for being the best wrestler. Thank you for getting me able to watch wrestling. If I wasn't watch wrestling, I wouldn't be doing these videos and doing podcasts with Tim and everything, because he was the reason why we did it. He was the reason why we watch. He was the reason why we're here. Right, most of us are here, wrestling fans and wrestlers alike. So thank you.